Hey y'all, welcome back. My name's Sarah and this is my channel, The Sassy Bookworm. So I'm gonna start out with a big happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. I know a lot of people do celebrate this holiday for different reasons, varying on your lineage or to just how you celebrate holidays. So with St. Patrick's Day coming up, I decided to get a little bit more in the spirit than I do usually. I went out and I bought some decorations and I got to thinking about what could I do to make a craft for St. Patrick's Day and still have a bookish spin to it. So I decided to do a DIY and make some St. Patrick's Day themed bookmarks. So I tried the best that I could. I hope that you all enjoy it. And without further ado, let's move on to the DIY. So we are going to be making a total of 3 different bookmarks today. So the first bookmark we're going to be making today is this washi tape bookmark that I already showed you. So first, the materials you're going to need for this craft is cardstock. I just use a basic white cardstock because it's a nice base, a ruler to measure out your bookmark, some scissors to cut your bookmark out with, and then of course the basis of the whole project itself, some St. Patrick's Day themed washi tape. For a nice basic bookmark size, you're going to want to do 5.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So of course the first thing you're going to want to do is cut out your bookmarks. So we're going to go ahead and line up our ruler and mark the 5.5 mark this way. We're going to line up our ruler down on this side, and then we're going to mark the 1.5 mark line. Make sure your ruler is nice and straight. And then you're just going to draw a little line out. I'm going to flip it this way so it's a little bit easier for me to see. Then you're going to line up your other end down here. Make sure your ruler is nice and straight once again. One of the tips that I would give you for this is to line the end of your ruler up with the line that you just drew so that you can kind of tell that it's a little more level. And we're just going to make our line right here. Alright, and then as you can see, we have our basic bookmark size right here. So now we're just gonna go ahead and cut it out. You can use an X-Acto knife if you would like. Now we just have to cut out this shape real quick. Now we have our nice basic shaped bookmark. As you can see, there are black lines where I messed up trying to draw my straight line and then like smudges from the marker, but it really doesn't matter because all you're going to be doing is covering it up regardless. So I actually got these tapes from Hobby Lobby and they were part of a set and they were having a sale on St. Patrick's Day stuff. So I went ahead and picked these up so that I could use them for my planner. But then I was thinking what else I could do with them, and then I decided that I wanted to make a bookmark with these because I thought it'd be really cute design, and you can use any kind of tape for this that you want. You can switch out for bigger tapes. You don't have to use as many tapes as I did, but since this is a St. Patrick's Day themed video, I did just go ahead and use these St. Patrick's Day washi tapes just to show you how to do this. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick a pattern for yourself on how you want your bookmark set up. So I chose this dark green to start off with, and then this little rainbow tape, followed by this green polka dot, the pots of gold, and then this light green, just so the designs were kind of separated and there wasn't just a whole block of green together. This is the pattern that I chose to go with. Alright, so now we're gonna start actually putting it together. So what you're gonna do, especially to start off in the corners, you're just gonna want to tear off a little bit because it's not gonna take a lot to cover the little corner. And then you're just gonna take it and you're gonna put it right on the corner so that the corner is completely covered, and then you're going to take it and just kind of fold it over the sides so that you make this nice even corner. You just kind of pat that into place. So this of course starts your pattern, and one thing you definitely want to do is so that none of the white is showing, you're going to make sure that you're not lining them up on top of each other but right next to each other so that there's like this little seamless line here and you're not seeing all of the white instead. And then you're just going to take it and fold it along the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my pattern on this, and we will be back as soon as I get this done. And then really quick, I just wanted to show you. So you see how this comes like right to this edge right here. So when you fold it over, it doesn't actually go behind the bookmark. So all you're gonna do is you're just gonna fold it like you normally do over the edge. And then you're gonna wanna just kind of bring it back in a little bit, but don't push it down, because if you push it down, then you're gonna mess up your aesthetic for your bookmark. So then you're just gonna chop, chop that little tail off, and then you have your corner done without anything like sticking off from it or whatever. But anyway, back to the time lapse. So we have it finished and it's looking real nice, except for there's one problem: the back of the bookmark. So this part is 100% completely up to you what you want to do, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my washi tape and just make long strips and go all the way down, alternating. So I'm just going to stick with the same pattern I did before. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to go to the very edge of your bookmark, kind of bring your tape down, just kind of straighten it out a little bit, and then for this one you are going to want to use scissors instead of just tearing it off, so that you have nice pretty edges on the end. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick and I'll show you the finished product as soon as I get it done. So this is the full finished product. Of course, you've already seen the front with the nice little designs, but we also have the back finished so that there's no white showing. And so now it is pretty from both sides, even though I kind of favor this side just because of how cool it looks. So now on to the other bookmark. So the next bookmark we're going to be making is this one that has more words on it, and it just has like little stickers on the side for decoration. So what you're going to need to make this bookmark, again, you're going to need white cardstock, and I just went ahead and cut out the size like we did last time. Some decorative paper of your choosing. I'm going to be using this one because I felt like the marker showed up on this one a little bit better. A cute sticker that has like a pot of gold and a rainbow, and I got these at Hobby Lobby just in case you're looking for these exact stickers if you recreate this. Or honestly, just Hobby Lobby in general is the best place to go for stickers. They're always like die cuts, and what I mean by that is they are on clear sheets and it's literally just like the cutout of these. There's no white border to them. Then of course you're going to need a marker to write on it with. I tried to use the thin point on this and I just felt like it didn't show up very well, so I ended up using the thicker point on this. So honestly, you could use a Sharpie, you can use any kind of marker you want, but I just used a basic black marker that I got at Michael's. And then we're going to bring the washi tape back into this one, except for this time we're only going to be using one of them. And of course you can choose which one you would like to use when you do yours, but I'm just going to go with the basic white and green stripe so it doesn't take away from the clovers and the stickers that we're going to use. And it's just kind of like a basic border. So the first thing you're going to want to do, which I already did, was cut out your basic bookmark shape. Now for this one, we are actually going to need to cut two of these out, except for one's going to be white and then the other is going to be this type of paper. The reason I'm doing this is just so that it's a little more sturdy as a bookmark and it doesn't tear as easily and it just stays nice and straight, because if you just try to use this for it, it's kind of a flimsy bookmark. So I like my bookmarks to be a little more sturdy. Basically what you're going to do here is you're just going to figure out where you want your design from. I usually just try to stick pretty close to the edge and get as much in it as I can. So we're just going to place that down, and then I'm actually going to grab my marker and I'm just going to mark the corners to be cut out, and then we're going to take our ruler and try to line it up as evenly as we can, and we're just gonna and you're gonna do it all the way around till you have your full bookmark shape. And if your lines aren't perfect, it's not that big of a deal because you're just going to be doing a border of washi tape around it anyway. Alright, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have my shape marked, so I'm actually just gonna cut it out real quick. All right, so we have both of our shapes cut out. So now just to make sure that they are even in size, you're just gonna place them on top of each other like so, and then you're just gonna hold it as still as you can. Chop off the end. Then I'm honestly not worried about the sides. You can cut the sides if you want. The sides are just a little bit more difficult to cut. So now to put them together, I'm actually just going to use the washi tape that I was going to use as a border. You can tape it down if you would like with regular Scotch tape, or you can glue it, but I thought this would just be a lot easier. You're going to go ahead and get your tape started and go ahead and just kind of stretch it out a little bit. And then I find that it's a lot easier to start on the ends because they are shorter. If you do both of the ends first, it'll secure the sides, so it'll make it a lot easier to do them. And then you're just gonna take your washi tape and kind of just like go in the middle of your washi tape with the bookmark, or you can place it flat and then just kind of judge it for yourself how far down that this should come on this side and how far down that it should go on the other side. So I'm just going to do it like this for right now, and I'm just gonna cut it off. And then what you're gonna do is, before you do anything else, is you're gonna want to push it down on the end and then flip it where it closes it off. So then it actually puts the border on both sides and it keeps your two papers together. So then really quickly, we're just gonna cut that off, and then we're gonna cut that off. Then we're gonna do the same to this side with the washi tape. Put it down just about as far as you did last time, and then flip, press, and flip. So now we're gonna do the sides. I didn't put a very thick border on here just because my writing's pretty big as it is. So with me writing on here, I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of space to write with. But it kept the papers held together and added just a little bit of decoration to it. And we've just got one more side to go. So I didn't realize that it stopped filming, but I just went ahead and finished the other sides and cut off the excess. So now I did mine to where the writing went this way. You can do yours to go this way, but I just thought it looked better going this way. But before we start writing, I am gonna put the sticker on there so that I know where my limit is. And then a great thing about these is you can test to see which one you'd rather use. Because it is clear, you can just kind of place it on there, see if you like it, you know, and then test different sizes. Of course, I feel like we can all tell that that one's too big, but you know, so we're just gonna use like this basic one here. So let's just peel it off real quick. And then I'm just gonna line up the rainbow with the top corner up here with the edge, and then just kind of press the pot itself down. So now we have to write on the bookmark. So you can write whatever you want to on the bookmark, but I actually wrote this on the bookmark because I wanted something that would go with the theme of the pot of gold and the rainbow. So I just wrote, gold is cool, but why can't we have a pot of books instead? So now we're just gonna write it on here, and I'm not doing any fancy writing. I'm just gonna use my regular handwriting. And I will tell you, when I wrote this one on here, I did practice this to try to get the spacing out right. So I'm just gonna kind of base mine off of this one. So I got it wrote on there. I feel like my writing was a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. So I feel like the original that I made is probably still my favorite in terms of how this is written. But then the very last thing that I did, just to kind of personalize it a little bit, or if you wanted to give this as a gift to someone, or just like a little craft for one of your friends or something, I just wrote Happy St. Patrick's Day 2018. So this will just kind of mark it if you wanted to give it to one of your friends, and of course you can put to and from, or you can write like a little note to them on the back if you wanted to make it more personal. But I just thought that this was a cute little idea for a St. Patrick's Day bookmark. I'm actually really happy with the way that it turned out. Of course, I wish I had better handwriting, but we can only hope for so much. Now we're going to make the last bookmark that I showed you. And this one is honestly the simplest one ever. All you're gonna need is a marker, and I suggest a very fine point marker for what we're going to use this one for. We're going to need some ribbon, which I just used this cute St. Patrick's Day green clover themed ribbon. Some green ink, and I'm just using this little stamp that I got at Hobby Lobby. And of course you're going to need basic white cardstock, scissors to use to cut out, and the ruler that we've been using this whole time. So for this bookmark, we are actually going to base our bookmark size on the stamp itself. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to mark the height, just like I've done with all of the other ones. I'm going to make the height of it 5.5, and then I'm going to make the width of it a little over 1.5. 1.5 will honestly work for this, but I wanted just a little bit extra just in case. And of course, depending on the size of your stamp, depends on how big you need this bookmark. I basically made the bookmark as wide as the stamp just to make sure that it would all fit. So I'm going to go ahead and finish marking this and cutting it out real quick. Alright, so I've got my bookmark cut out. Right, so we're just going to take our white bookmark. We're going to take our stamp. Make sure that it's nice and evenly coated. And the type of ink that I'm using, it's a chalk ink, which I've actually really liked the way that it has looked. So for the first one, you're going to line it up with the edges and then just press down. And then instead of going down the line, I'm going to line it up with this side so that you have your two edges done. And of course, if they come out looking different, it's not that big of a deal. It just adds some more personality or individuality to how yours turn out. So depending on the look that you're going for or what else you want to do to the bookmark, you can do one in the middle. And so you'll have the 3 clovers and then you have white spaces if you want to put stuff in between them. But for the look that I'm going for, I am doing 4 of them. So you're going to want to line up the edge of your stamp with the one that you already did. Going to do it once again, and then we're going to try to get this one right here about in the middle. We have a pretty basic bookmark while still being pretty cute and giving me an excuse to use my stamp. But we're not quite done yet. So once your clovers are nice and dry, what we are going to do is we're going to add just a little pizzazz to it, and we're going to add a ribbon to the end of it. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to kind of pick a size of the ribbon that you want. Like, I'm gonna make mine pretty long just because I want a lot of pizzazz. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your ribbon, double it over like this so that you have 2 strings that show up instead of just having like one dangling there, because you know that's just not as cute. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna cut this real quick. We have our ribbon cut and we have our bookmark here. But how are we gonna put the ribbon into it? So what we're gonna do is you can take an X-Acto knife, you can take a pin, you can take whatever you need to. And I'm just gonna cut a little bit of a line right here, and I'm just kind of cutting out a little bitty box basically, and then you're just gonna pop that out. You want to make sure that up top is thick enough to support it. If it won't fit through the box as you cut it, just kind of double it over, squeeze it on through. You're going to want to pull it through until both sides are even, like so. And then now you have the option of how you want to tie it. So you can, of course, just tie it in a basic knot, like tying in both sides and making a little bow on it. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to fold it over like this, and then bring this end through here, and then push your knot all the way down to the end. This ribbon is a little bit more stiff, so if you use this one specifically or use one that has like hard material in it, you're gonna have to work it just a little bit more, and then voila, you have just a little bit of pizzazz to your bookmark. However, we're not quite done yet. The last thing that we're gonna do to this bookmark to kind of make the clovers stand out a little bit is we're just going to outline the clovers in a very fine point marker. That's all you have to do to make your bookmark nice and pretty and keep your reading very St. Patrick's Day themed, and maybe you'll get lucky and your favorite character won't die, because let's be honest, we're all pretty unlucky when it comes to loving characters, right? Alright, so I hope that you all enjoyed this DIY. They were some pretty simple crafts, but it can never hurt to put a little bit of spirit into any kind of holiday. So I hope that you all enjoyed these DIYs. I hope that they made sense. And please let me know in the comments down below whether you like these crafts, if you're gonna try it for yourself, or whether you just got inspiration to make something of your own. I would love to hear about it. Hit that like button if you want to see more DIYs. I am gonna try to get some more DIYs out there because DIY is something that I really do enjoy. But definitely hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more content from me and maybe be here when I get some more DIYs on here, or whether you like book reviews. I try to post at least once a week. I hope that you all have a wonderful day and a happy St. Patrick's Day. And until next time, I will see you guys then. Bye!